Hi everybody, it's Willis, Kiwi Scrapper from New Zealand. I'm here to show you my altered box, which was done for Irene on Seriously Scrapping on YouTube. That's her channel there, Irene Seriously Scrapping YouTube. This is part 2 of a combined challenge that Irene put out. The deadline to get the items to her, which must be sent to her as part of the entry. She lives in Australia. The deadline is the 20th of October. So if you're interested in doing this challenge, part 1 or part 2, or both, like I've done, you can either look at the videos that I've put up, promotional videos on part 1 and part 2, or you can pop over to Seriously Scrapping channel and have a look at hers. Okay, so I decided to do altered box. She gave, it was either an altered box or an altered birdcage. Minimum size of around 4 inches by about 6, I think. This is a bit bigger, but there was no restriction on the size. But as they have to be posted to her, they needed to be relatively small. So I decided to do the altered box, and there were several styles she gave that you could use. There was Shabby Chic, there was Vintage, there was Victorian, or there was Moulin Rouge. I did my tag for part 1 in Moulin Rouge, and if you want to look at that, there's a video up on that. So I decided to do Shabby Chic. So without further ado, I decided to use a vintage cigar box, Havana cigar box that I've had in my stash. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago I bought it from a second-hand shop for 50 cents, and I never knew what to do with it, but it's going to Irene as an altered box now. So I've left some of the parts of the original box because it's vintage. Irene can cover them up if she doesn't want it there, but I just like to have those original parts still showing. So yes, so the materials that Irene required in this for an altered box were lace, satin trim, paper somewhere on the box, and mulberry paper flowers and or fabric flowers. So right, so I started by painting the box, tearing off any bits of paper that I wasn't going to keep, painting the box in 2 layers of gesso, but not the bottom and not over the original bits or the inside lid. And then over the top of that I put acrylic antique white, which actually comes out like a cream colour, which is one of the colours that had to be used. So did that. Then I put over top of that a paper from the collection, the authentic collection of Hope, and I think that's one of the Easter collections. I glued the paper on and rolled back this edge so that I had a triangle in the corner that just had the paint. I just Mod Podged this several times. As you can hear, it's quite hard, to protect it from being ripped or torn, broken off. Then I put tea stained, Mod Podged French music paper, which I printed off the internet for another project. I put a little tiny image of a Victorian lady in the corner there, surrounded that with some antique gold braid so that it gave it look like an old frame around her. These are Wild Orchid Craft roses in pink and white tones. These are Wild Orchid Craft roses. They were a little bit bright in the tone of pink, so I put just touched them up with gesso to tone them down into the baby pink. And this is a little pink and white Wild Orchid Craft rose. This is a Wild Orchid Craft flower of some sort, not sure what it is. Pearl centres and pearl sprays on it, and that's satin. On this corner I placed a crocheted doily, and it's in a lovely pearlized cream, oyster cream colour. I cut that to fit the triangle corner. Then I outlined the scalloped edge in around here with a string of ivory coloured pearls. They're not flat back, they're the whole pearls. These are flat back white pearls I got off eBay. they've gone into the, just 4 of them there. Started with the flowers. There's white fabric organza flower here with a crystal centre. This is, in addition to those colours that I mentioned, Irene said we could also use a soft pale green or a lilac or a peach. So I chose to use, just pop in a soft pale green there, and that's a organza flower with a crystal centre. This is a cream flower, organza flower with a pearl centre. Over here there's a pale baby pink and cream flower that I took off in a bunch of artificial flowers I got from a second-hand shop, and I popped a pearl in the, took out the plastic bits and popped a pearl in there. These little 4 rosebuds here, closed rosebuds, were from a spray that I had. They're in silk. I just cut them off. They're probably from the 1990s. There's single white pearls just dotted in here, large pearls. These are all Wild Orchid Craft roses, and Wild Orchid Craft lily, and Wild Orchid Craft orchid. This is sort of pinky beigey colour, sort of a mocha colour. This is white. These are sort of very pale lemon and pink, and I've touched them up with gesso, those two. And this is very pale pink, and this is the same as these, which I touched up with gesso. I know that Irene loves cameos, so it wasn't necessary, but I popped in a cameo on a chocolate brown background. Over here is the original part of the box, which goes under here and under here, and it says the Republic of Cuba, and the rest is in Cuban. And as you can see, that says at the bottom, I've left the bottom plain, that's the original wood, Hecho on Cuba, I'm not sure if I've said that correctly. Okay, inside the box I left the original paper on the lid, Monte Cristo Havana cigars, and I just took out the paper in here, which was quite plain anyway, and it was raggedy. I took it out and I gessoed that, and 2 layers of antique white paint. It's got a spike closure which goes into the little hole down here. It has got a, it's not a terribly sharp point, but it is sharp. If Irene would like me to remove that, I can get David, my husband, to cut it off. I have kept it because I like to have authentic things, so that for me is quite authentic. So it's not a box that you'd put heavy jewellery in because it would scrape up the paint, I think. But I've just packed some laces in there for her, and that's how it closes. On the side, this is the baby pink satin trim, and I've got a heart-shaped slider there for a little touch of silvery bling. Little pink satin trim bow. This is for the lace that's required. This is pale cream lace that goes all the way around the box. Try not to bump the tripod here. So, but I didn't cover it over the original note. So that's, oh, I did put 4 glass feet on the bottom. Those are just those things that they used to stick in flower vases several years ago. It is slightly wonky. It's not that the feet are different sizes, because they're not. It's because the box is slightly wonky itself, so it's hard to get it thing. Anyway, that's my my entry into part 2 Altered Box, Altered Birdcage of Irene Seriously Scrapping challenge. So if you're interested in that challenge, pop over and have a look. I'm sure Irene in Australia would be thrilled. Okay, bye for now. Thanks.